Alright guys, welcome to Spoiler Alerts. My name is Mike with Mike W Productions, as you may have known if you watched any of the other videos. And thank you for joining us today. We are talking again about Captain America, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, to be precise. But we are dealing with a lot of Captain America in this episode. Specifically, there's like three of them, at least two official ones, and then a few other ones that may or may not be Captain America later on in the series. As you know, the first one I liked, but there were certain parts that I didn't like. This one was a lot better, at least in my thought process. The first one was a little bit slow, had too much political stuff. This one, again, does have too much political stuff, but apparently that is what they're going for in the, I believe, 5 or 6 episode series that is Falcon and Winter Soldier. And so we're going through a few of those type things. I don't really want to get into the politics of it because it's just not something that I want to kind of deal with. We will talk about a few things that did happen, but I'm going to try and stay away from being opinionated on that part too much. Okay, so with the first bit, we get into a little bit more of what's going on with like the Flag Smashers. We have a new villain. I don't think that the Flag Smashers are bad, but we'll get into that. So let's start off with this guy. He is the new Captain America, or as I like to call him, Captain A-Hole. Because he is kind of, well, just that. He is opinionated, he is spoiled, and he gets his way just because he is that guy. Because he has the shield and is the new Captain America, so I guess you would say he's entitled. He literally gets Sam and Bucky out of the jail when they get arrested at one point, and the therapist comes in and is saying, hey, I didn't do it. I'm just here to check on you guys because I heard you got arrested. And then this guy pops up and says, oh, hey, it was me. Yep, I did it. And then later on, he uses the police sirens to get Bucky and Sam's attention. And that is why I am designating him as Captain A-Hole. So, and in the same scene, the therapist lady, which I like that character, she's so funny and sarcastic. She keeps these guys in line. There's a little weird thing that they're doing where she's doing couples therapy. I don't know why they need specifically couples therapy tactics, but they do this look into each other's eyes type thing, and it turns into a staring contest. It's a really fun scene. I don't know if they're trying to imply that maybe Sam and Bucky are, going to form a relationship, but I wouldn't be surprised with the way that Disney has been going lately. That's neither here nor there until we have further evidence, but it has been suggested on other platforms on YouTube. So, yeah, so this is now designated as Captain A-Hole. So, I don't know if he's going to be a, a bad guy. We do understand from the comic books that he might get juiced with the same super soldier serum that either the Hydra or the Americans made, and we'll get into more of that type serum because we do know that from Captain America: Civil War, there was different um, Winter Soldiers that were developed. They were all frozen. That's why Bucky never aged, really, because every time that he would go on a mission and he came back, they would freeze his body up to make him basically last longer, so he'd be more viable. Because as you'll see, we know in game that Captain America, Steve Rogers, goes back in time, lives out his lifetime with Peggy Carter, and gets old. So it is possible, just because you have the super serum doesn't mean that you're going to not age. It just means that you're going to have more strength and agility. You may age slower, but it's not like a Wolverine effect where his cells regenerate that quickly, or even a Deadpool, if you will, where he just stays the same age throughout the series, at least within context of how he looks. Let's see, what are we going to talk about next? Yes, the Flag Smashers. This is the head Flag Smasher. This character, and I'll show you guys a picture of her without the mask on, is an interesting character. I actually like this character very much because we are starting to get some kind of depth into why they're doing this. They believe that, the world would have been better off if the snap stayed the same and the unsnapping didn't happen. That is what I'm calling it. I don't like using the blip. It sounds weird. I'd rather say the snap and the unsnapping, and that's just how I'm going to do it. Very interesting character. We're diving deep. We have a name, and if you see that name and you look it up, it is the original Flag Smasher from the comics. The one from the comics was a male, a guy, and he was kind of basically a 50s villain, cape and all, and he was the Flag Smasher. And she is the Flag Smasher. I kind of like the hand thing more so than just a super villain 50s throwback thing, capes and all. So this design is pretty cool. I didn't mind it from the last one. I didn't, it's just a hockey mask with a handprint on it. And the character, I think we're going to get some really interesting character development. And this is what she looks like now without the mask on. So she was in one of the Star Wars movies. And if you recognize her, that is why you will see that in why she kind of looks familiar. So the Power Brokers are going after her and her group, and they are running away at some point. They are all juiced with the same power as Captain America, or at least some form of that. And it's very kind of interesting. I kind of want to know what is up with the Power Broker and his group of people. Um, and then we have this guy. Now, this is Isaiah, and Isaiah is in this story, a 60s, I believe, late 50s through the 60s. I believe they said he was in Vietnam, which is important because back in the 60s there was a lot of racism, and this show wants to dive deep into racial topics, which I guess is fair for uh, what they're doing. And they're not really, being uh, hidden about what they want to talk about. So he is the unknown Captain America. And I told you there's a few of them. We have the Captain A-Hole. We have this guy who is basically Black Captain America. And his character is pretty deep. We learn a lot about him in the maybe 3 minutes that we have him on screen. Maybe 5 minutes total if you add in the grandson. And the grandson is rumored to be a part of the Young Justice League, which they are setting up, I believe, for Phase 5, or as I like to call it, Phase X, because I believe they are going to introduce fully the X-Men in that universe, in that phase. So he is there, he knows the Winter Soldier, and the Winter Soldier takes Sam to go see him for reasons, and then he gets mad because, well, he basically beat Bucky up and doesn't want to talk about the past anymore. He got put into a basically a prison laboratory after all of the war stuff kind of settled down. Vietnam ended, we pulled out of that war, and I guess they turned him into a science experiment. Not cool. So, that's his backstory, but we learn that very quickly, and I kind of respect that. They don't just, like, beat around the bush. He tells his story, he's a part of the thing, he is a part of the universe, but it is sad that he was hidden because he wasn't even known to the public as being a Captain America. Probably, because he was one black in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s, and they didn't want to get rid of the idea of Captain America being that Captain America. So that's a interesting character. I hope they come back to him at some point. I hope that they continue with the flag smashing girl, and I know that the power broker, I believe it's a lie, but we're probably going to get into some drug content with the power brokers. They are going to be, they're probably lying to them if they haven't gotten to that point yet. They may jump into that in the next few episodes, because one of the, at least from the comic book angle, one of the things is that the power brokers told the flag smashers, or the people that they juiced up with the serum, that there's a drug in it and that they have to keep coming back, and that's how they control them to keep stealing stuff for them. And it seems like the flag smashers have broken off from that because they're being chased by the power broker and his people. I'm just going to call them the power brokers because they work for the dude. And so these guys are chasing after them. So I don't know if they're an anti-hero, kind of like, Deadpool, doing bad things for the greater good, or maybe self-interest, but I don't think that they are the main villain. And then, of course, at the end of the show, we get Zemo. If you guys don't know who Zemo is, go ahead and go back and watch Captain America Civil War. It'll explain a lot about who he is. Or at least a little bit, because he really was kind of shoehorned in there in that one. He was the bad guy, but he really wasn't like the big plot line. So, but it'll be interesting that he gets more screen time and maybe more back character than, well, you guys, killed my family during, which one was it? It was Age of Ultron. So hopefully they'll do a little more character development with him. But as of right now, there's not too much to complain about. There was one scene where the cops pull over Sam and Bucky.
That's racist.
Right after they get done seeing Isaiah, and Sam refuses to show them their ID because, well, why do I have to show you my ID? And the cop really didn't give a reason for why they were fighting in the street, but it's kind of like, just tell him, yeah, because you guys are fighting in the street, I want both of your IDs. Would have been better, but they're trying to go with the whole political thing, and I get it, but it's not really needed. There was some stuff with Isaiah, said some stuff, but then later on, Bucky knew what he was talking about because he said something about you people.
That's racist.
And, it sounded really racist when he said that. I was like, oh man, that's kind of, not great. But later on, he's talking to Sam, and he says, he didn't mean it like that. And he's like, yeah, I know. He's talking because I was Hydra, not because I'm white. So, and I wish they would have clarified that in the last episode too, but they are trying to make kind of political statements throughout the show. So, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. I just don't really like to watch movies and shows that are grounded in what is right now reality at the time. I watch TV and movies to escape from the realisms, especially superhero movies, but I understand, hey, you want to make commentary on things that are going on in this world right now. I don't know if it will age well, but we will see. Alright guys, that is my time. I hope that you guys enjoyed the rundown here on Spoiler Alerts. I am Mike W, and this is Spoiler Alerts. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give a like and a subscribe. If you want to talk about stuff, hit up the comment section, because every little thing that you guys can do helps the show grow. I am also thinking about doing different themes for this, not just spoilers, but things that maybe movies that wouldn't fly nowadays, or something along that line. If you guys have any ideas about like TV shows or movies that you might want me to review or want me to do in a certain way, let me know in the comments and I will see what I can do. And thank you guys again for tuning in to Spoiler Alert. I will see you later. Peace.